Here are your hosts, Chick Buckovan and Enrique Alvarez Cleary.
Hey, what great new music this is that we have here on the Ticket Water Cooler. I love it. What do you think, Rico?
This is fantastic.
Yeah, well, not everybody likes their new music, but we love our new music.
I was going to say something, but I'm a good person. I am a good person. I will not say the things that I want to say.
Yeah, we're freshening things up here at the station with some new intros, outros, and such. We're having fun doing it here. Of course, it is Tuesday. We are our last official show of the week, though I'm sure you'll hear myself and Rico on these airwaves throughout the next 3 days. But boys state basketball right after
I hope so.
Girls state basketball. The last week was such a great success. We decided let's do that again. That was perfect.
Yeah, let's try it again.
So
we just decided that.
We just now.
We definitely were not. It's not like we had this planned out. No, we definitely just decided this.
So we're getting everything ready to pack and bring down to Pinnacle Bank Arena. We'll have all the games from Pinnacle Bank Arena right here on 93.7 The Ticket. So obviously it is that time of the year. It's a fun time of the year. If you're turning on college ball today, I know everybody's waiting for the Big Ten tournament, Nebraska in Minnesota tomorrow night. And the ACC starts their games actually today. So if you want to watch the 14-11 game over there, they've got a few of those games going on.
I know you do.
I mean, I'm getting excited. We'll do this. We'll do a little a thing later when Nick jumps in the studio to see. I'm going to test some of your guys' knowledge, but we've had 6 tickets punched to the NCAA tournament.
Can we name them?
Well, we'll go through some of this. 5 more tickets will be punched tonight, including Gonzaga and St. Mary's. So there's a big game if you want to watch that tonight. Obviously, both those teams getting in. So we'll kind of test your guys' knowledge on that in a little bit.
What if there's upsets aplenty?
There could be upsets aplenty, but I think Gonzaga and St. Mary's
they're definitely.
They're both top 20 teams right now.
Do you know there's only one game live right now?
What's
Do you know who it is?
No.
UMass at Richmond.
Spiders?
And
Minutemen.
Yeah. Playing at the Barclays
Center. How many people do you think are there?
I don't know. The game right after is Loyola Chicago and St. Joseph.
Hey.
St. Joseph's. Sorry, not just
what
St. Joseph.
Okay, what conference is this then?
I don't know.
Testing my own knowledge.
Yeah.
Is that the A10?
That is the A10.
Yes. I was saying those are actually some brand name, not brand name schools.
Well, yeah. So Richmond is 14-17. UMass is 15-15. Loyola Chicago is 10-20. This is what in the world?
Hey, you've got your
especially the first 14-16 St. Joseph's. This must be the first round of the A10.
Yeah, well, that's not good. Those teams, I'd like to see those teams in.
They are none of them
in
are
the
making
NCAA
it.
tournament. That
none of
doesn't
them
sound
are
like it's going to happen. How you get your Knicks shirt on there?
I do.
Greatest UMass player of all time.
The greatest UMass player of all time.
Yep, it's a quiz.
I know exactly. I know who. I can't. I got nothing.
Marcus Camby.
There you go.
Also a great Knick and a defensive player of the year.
He was also a great Nugget.
Yes, he was. He's a good defensive player. I loved.
He was number 1 overall, wasn't he?
In the league. I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Calipari actually coached him at UMass. So he's that's kind of where he started making his name. So kind of fun there. St. Joseph's, of course, had Delonte West.
He went to St. Joseph's? Huh, what do you know?
I know St. Joseph's and with who was the other? The Magic point guard there for a while. They had a good team.
Jameer Nelson?
Jameer Nelson. Yeah. There's some A10 knowledge for you.
Look at that. St. Joseph's producing point guards who are good for very short periods of time.
Delonte West is the weirdest story of anything that's ever happened.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it.
Well, the best wish for the best for Delonte West. And I don't know anything about his personal life.
Yep, just the weirdest thing going on
there.
There
are plenty of rumors about his personal life. But anyways, let's get back to basketball. Big day for Nebraska basketball as far as postseason awards because Nebraska has a member on the second team All Big Ten for the first time, the highest selection for a Nebraska basketball player since 2017-2018 when James Palmer was first team All Big Ten. Derek Walker, first team All Big Ten according to the coaches. They named 6 players on that team, so I always find that kind of odd.
Shout out to the 2 Northwestern players, Boo Buie and Chase Audige.
Yeah, 2 good players. Let's run through the first team here. Terrence Shannon Jr. of Illinois, Trace Jackson Davis of Indiana, Chris Murray of Iowa, Jalen Pickett of Penn State, and Zach Edey of Purdue. No surprise there. Zach Edey, by the way, Big Ten Player of the Year. Second team, like you mentioned, Northwestern's got a few guys, Chase Audige and Boo Buie, playing, of course, for Coach of the Year this year in the Big Ten, Chris Collins. Hunter Dickinson of Michigan, Derek Walker of Nebraska, Tyson Walker of Michigan State, and Jameer Young of Maryland. I'm not going to go through the 13 because nobody's in there for Nebraska, so we don't have to do that. Casey Tamanaga, honorable mention. If this was second half of the year Big Ten, Casey Tamanaga first team?
Yeah.
He really would
easily
be.
first team.
Not kidding.
Easily, not even a question.
Yeah. So we'll kind of see how that. Hopefully, we get another year Casey. I think going into next year would probably be preseason first team right up there with it. Freshman of the year, Jalen Hood-Schifano of Indiana. Sixth man of the year, Peyton Sanford, even though he didn't hit that shot against Nebraska.
Loser.
Of Iowa. And defensive player of the year, again, Chase Adi showing up for Northwestern, and Caleb McConnell of Rutgers.
Co-defensive players of the year.
Player.
How do you do that?
I don't like
just pick one.
What if you had co-sixth man of the year? That
what
would
if you
really
had
not make
What if
sense.
you had co-player of the year? That's not how this works.
Don't like it.
That's not how this works. Pick one.
No, yeah. Flip a coin in the end. If
I
all the votes are
choose
tied.
Caleb McConnell.
Did he win last year? He was
No idea. But I choose him because
Yeah.
he plays for Rutgers, and they are all defense all the time.
That's true. Chase Adi's though, pretty good defender.
Yeah,
himself.
he did okay.
Yeah, Northwestern had a pretty good year.
Yeah, whatever.
Last couple of years, if you look at it, though, this is the second year in a row that actually Nebraska's had a member on the All Big Ten team's third team, All Big Ten last year, Bryce McGowan's. Like I said, as far as going up to second team, you haven't had a player receive that recognition since 2017, 2018, when James Palm was first team. I don't know when the last time Nebraska actually had a second teamer, but as high as second team. Really just a great recognition for Derek Walker. I know they called him Grandpa Walker or whatever, all the jokes about him sticking around, walking 3 times for senior night. But when you think about where this program is, hopefully this is a stepping stone type of year. And Derek Walker would be a big key to taking that step to ensuring, quite honestly, that Coach Hoiberg is in town. And so hopefully years from now, we can kind of look at this and say, that was the big catalyst, because I'll always remember when Derek Walker announced when he was coming back, it wasn't, I don't even know if it made, people across Big Ten Nation were like, probably didn't even notice. And now
I think
second team All Big Ten.
I think people were just like, yeah, of course he's coming back. Like, he should come back. He'll be able to get a full year under his belt and hopefully, another good or set the foundation for Nebraska basketball. And that's exactly what him and Sam Griesel did. Is, Sam Griesel transferring into Nebraska and getting to live out his dream of playing as a Husker at PBA for his hometown team, and Derek Walker coming back for his 6th year. I'm not exactly sure how many years he went through, like 3 senior days. Derek Walker coming back, and both of them helping to lay the foundation for hopefully Husker hoops for years to come, and helping Fred Hoiberg hopefully continue as the head coach of Nebraska basketball for years to come. That's exactly that's a huge reason why he came back. That's one of the things that he wanted to accomplish. Obviously wanted to make the tournament and have a fantastic year, which, I mean, second team All Big Ten according to the coaches. I'd like to say that's a pretty damn good year for Derek Walker. So he got that accomplished. Unfortunately, more than likely not going to make the NCAA tournament. Still have a chance at a postseason berth, but more importantly is when people look back, if Nebraska continues to have success, or if Nebraska begins to have more success on the basketball court on the men's side, people will look back to this team, to this year, and say, this is the team that laid this foundation after, teams of way back had a foundation and wherever it went. This team relayed that foundation and allowed Nebraska basketball, Husker hoops, to get back to a bigger role in college basketball.
Yeah, and we'll see. You mentioned the NIT projections. The latest ones have Nebraska hosting Villanova, which would be quite fun, and maybe hosting the second round.
Yeah.
So, as long as Nebraska can kind of stay above 500, beat Minnesota, you're basically in the NIT. Maybe. I mean, you can't say for sure.
Would you?
Our NIT who does NIT projections?
I don't know.
That's a weird job.
That is a weird job, but that's if you win one, you're you win one. The other one, you're 1 game over 500.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still enough to host an NIT, maybe host 1 NIT game. If you win 2, you're definitely hosting.
Yeah.
So if you can beat Minnesota and then beat Maryland, you're in the clear as good or as much as hosting an NIT game at PBA. But it'd be really cool to just keep winning and not host a game. And be playing somewhere else.
And again, there are very rare times where you go into postseason play, and especially when you're an 11 seed, and think Nebraska can legitimately make a run. Now I know there's going to be harder matchups than others, but they won 6 of 8, and this is just a totality thing. I'm not predicting Nebraska to win the Big Ten or anything, but if Purdue loses, it really is anybody's game. I mean, Purdue is kind of the overwhelming favorite.
Yeah.
Outside of that, everybody else was in this just jumbled mess. Of between 3 games better or worse, and Nebraska included in that.
I mean, you said it yesterday. Northwestern, if they lost their final game of the season, they would go from the 2. If they won, they'd go to the 2 seed. If they lost, they'd go to the 9 seed.
Yeah.
Like, that's how jumbled up the Big Ten was.
Yeah, and it was hard to predict from week to week who was on the whole. Maybe would kind of have an edge there. But just the matchups. I can't wait for this Big Ten tournament. Again, if Purdue wins, and so be it. I suppose that's kind of an outcome, but probably maybe good.
It's more than likely.
Yeah.
Happen.
I don't know. Tournament play, like I always say, is pretty random. Not complete. I know DP doesn't like when I say random because you prepare all year for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and there's coaching and all that stuff that goes on. But my point is, I guess, it's just kind of the one game elimination scenario. You don't have to be the best team all year round. You can be the best team that day. And Purdue has been struggling a little bit as of late, despite clearly being the top team in the league. The last couple of weeks have not gone great for them. So it really is up in the air, and Nebraska can make a run at this thing. And I think too, again, because they're playing Minnesota. First of all, you can't overlook Minnesota. None of this is to say that Minnesota can't knock you off. I know they're not one of those teams that we're mentioning. They beat Wisconsin in the final week. They played Nebraska close, 10-point games, both in Minneapolis and in Lincoln. So that, I mean, no overlooking anybody, but I think just kind of the bracket that they're in.
They got the more favorable draw out of the lower 4 seeds. Like and no disrespect to anybody else. And I understand that Nebraska swept Iowa, but I think, at least to me, I'd rather face Maryland than Iowa. I understand that Maryland did beat Nebraska once this season, but I just think Nebraska matches up really well with Maryland, and Iowa had a bad shooting night, really both times that Nebraska faced them. So that's one of the best offense, if not the best offense in the Big Ten, Iowa is. So Nebraska getting Minnesota, and again, this is dependent on if they win. Nebraska getting Minnesota, Maryland, Indiana, I think is more favorable to them than getting Iowa and Michigan State. And then if you win that 3rd round game, if you're where Wisconsin and Ohio State are, you more than likely have to face Purdue. I would rather not face Purdue until the championship game if I have to, depending on how things shake out. Penn State, Illinois, Northwestern. You get one of those 3. I'm okay with one of those 3.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since they played Indiana, but pretty much assuredly, though, that's the double bye in their bracket. So like you said, Maryland is the opponent. Nebraska beats Minnesota. Indiana's waiting for the winner of that game. Not bad. Not a bad draw for Nebraska.
And I understand that Nebraska, had Michigan State on the ropes, and then they went ungodly from 3-point land. But and Nebraska only played Indiana once. But I think they match up pretty well with Indiana.
I don't know if they match up well with Michigan State. That's the one.
No.
I mean, because it's hard to say, but that game just kind of shell shocks you a little bit, right? Because
I don't want to do that again.
They did play the first half, was the best half of probably the season. So maybe in a way,
and Michigan State couldn't hit anything.
Well. But if that was like that was part of your best half of the season, and you still lost by double digits to that team, then you worry a little bit. I know the second half was probably the worst half of the season, but I don't know. I'd rather avoid Michigan State, rather avoid Purdue, and luckily for Nebraska, like you said, they will avoid those teams until the championship game if they get there. And of course, nothing is assured for Nebraska. Again, have to beat Minnesota tomorrow. Also wanted to mention this, not news, great news, sad news, in fact. Andre Smith, one of the best Nebraska basketball players of all time, has passed away. I saw Kent Pavelka commenting on that on social media. 1980 Big 8 Player of the Year. Left as the second highest leading scorer in Nebraska history. Finished, I think right now he's 4th highest leading scorer, 18.3 points per game his senior season. I'm a little too young to have remembered him playing the Scarlet and Cream, but I've heard stories from my dad and others of how great Andre Smith was. So always not great, tough to do to announce that, but it is something that is going to be carried heavy in Husker fans' hearts here over today and in the next few days. Let's take a quick break here on 93.7 The Ticket water cooler. We will be back, and when we come back, it is the last day to place the franchise tag on players throughout the league. That brings an interesting decision today. Lamar Jackson watch basically up until about 2:30, 3:30 when the cutoff time is. Also, Aaron Rodgers trade talks with the Jets are very real reportedly this past week. So
I guess.
interesting stuff. Geno Smith, Derek Carr will throw them in too. We'll talk NFL quarterbacks coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome to Lincoln State, Hoops fans. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P is your go-to spot for the small town feel in the middle of Lincoln's downtown area. Come enjoy great food and great drinks for lunch or dinner and before or after any game at Rosie's. 10th and P.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to NovotnyNutritionandWellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial service provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Jim Jackson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated by the ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience with Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go out and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell Starter Heyman, we would definitely recommend the second one.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Lincoln and Grand Island. SouterHeyman.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved one or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Soul food, right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake. Or find their food truck at events all over town. Or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management. It has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. 24/7 support. Call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. Happy to be with you through your lunch hour. We'll get into some NFL quarterback talk, but here is some surprising news. J.J. Redick and Kendrick Perkins are at it again.
Of course they are.
They don't seem to get along. They're like the new
Kendrick Perkins is frustrating. And I do not disagree with J.J. Redick in the slightest. Like, Kendrick Perkins has just been frustrating for quite a while since he's been a media member. I don't know where he bases. I understand that he played in the NBA. He's got that on a lot of other people. And that on J.J. Redick. J.J. played in the NBA. But some of the things he says, I don't know where he gets his facts or his anything from. He just kind of goes out there and says things, and I'm like, okay, prove it, and he can't.
Yeah, well, he is in the opinion business for. So I think there's just different approaches.
There's a different
obviously to that job, and
you can have an opinion and not have that bad of it.
Well, at least I'll give him this. He believes himself. You can trust that. You can see that.
Look,
So,
as long
at
as you
least he's
believe
not
yourself,
disingenuous.
maybe you'll be able to convince some other people. But if you agree with Kendrick Perkins on some of the things he says, you got a problem.
I'm a big Kendrick Perkins fan, only because of his days in Boston. But I don't always agree with everything he says.
Not a fan of him in Oklahoma City.
Actually, no. Well, one time he was kind of mean to some of the Celtics when there in Oklahoma City. So I didn't like that part of it. But he was the enforcer by that time.
Yeah, he was
especially
just
a couple years down.
He was just there to be there.
Yeah, to be the big guy in case a fight breaks out.
Yeah,
which is fair enough. By the way, Pau Gasol's jersey being retired tonight at what was formerly Staples Center, now Crypto.com.
They should change it back to the Staples Center just for tonight.
Just for tonight, make us all feel a little bit better.
Also, it will always be the Staples Center. I don't care what they say. I don't care what logo's on it. I don't care what you call it. It's the Staples Center, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't even know if Staples is still a business, but
There's a
always
Staples.
think of
I think there's a Staples just right out here.
Oh,
I think.
Is that a Staples?
I don't
think
know
you might
actually.
be right.
I think there is right on O Street.
Let's go check.
402-464-5685. Let me know if that's Staples.
I know I've been in that store even, maybe 3 times since I've worked here. But I don't remember if that's a Staples or not. I just walk in. It's an office.
I need to get like a Staples button or something.
What's that?
Just to remember the Staples Center.
Just the Staples Center, yeah. Do you think of Paul Gasol as it's interesting because he had a great career. I didn't like him again, Celtics fan, when he was
As understandable.
but I liked him, when he played, he kind of transitioned his game to the 3-point era. He was just a fun career to follow. I don't mean this in any disrespect, as it is his jersey retirement night, but it's just the other Lakers names that hang in the rafter. His jersey is just kind of one of those. It's the one that's going to be in a lot of pictures that people take, right next to Kobe's, but it's not going to be focused on pass, I don't think.
Well, let's figure this out real quick. Let's go to some Pau Gasol stats. All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's get some Pau Gasol stats. So Pau Gasol with the Lakers, 429 games, 17.7 points, 9.9 a double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. in 429 games as a Laker.
Most importantly, 2 championships.
2 championships also.
Yeah.
From 2007 to 2014, that's when he played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think I look. I don't know all of the necessary requirements to get your jersey retired, but he did get 2 championships, averaged a double-double. I'd say that's jersey retirement
I'd
worthy.
say in most organizations it definitely
Plus,
is.
you also,
with
you
the
know,
Lakers, though, it's difficult.
Well, yeah, that's because they have like 1 million pieces. I'm with the Boston Celtics. You
Yeah.
have way too many banners, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. At some point, you're gonna have players that just don't stack up to some of the greats that you have, but they're still great.
Right.
Like they're great in their era.
Is there
They're
a
great at their
different-
time.
There's a different area of that they should put the crypto or Shaq and
Like
Will-
Shaq, Kobe,
Chamberlain's up there.
Will, Magic. Like those guys, Jerry
Yeah.
West, like those guys, like
Yeah.
they were amazing, and MVPs and championships and everything. Pau Gasol, great Laker, fantastic
Yes,
Laker.
yes.
I think his jersey retired. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it makes sense.
I don't know.
It's just it's just different. It won 2 championships.
Yeah, no, I think he does. I think he deserves it, and I'm interested in kind of how it goes tonight. I just always think it's fascinating. Like you said, the Lakers, Celtics are just historic franchises. What it takes to have your jersey retired, and the Thunder just retired Nick Collison's jersey because he was there for like 10 years.
He was like the first draft pick that the Thunder had, I think, or he was the last draft pick that the Sonics had. One of those is true because KD played as a Sonic. They might have been drafted at the same time.
I did see him as a Sonic. I think if my memory serves me, I
They
think
might
he
have played at the same time.
Yeah.
Like with each other on the Sonics.
I think Jeff Green was also a Sonic at one time.
Probably.
Bring back
Okay,
the
here we go. I'm going through Pau Gasol's year by year. So from 2008 to 2011, he averaged 18, 19 points a game for the Lakers and also 10 or 11 rebounds. So 18, it was 18.9 and 9.6. 2009, 18.3, 11.3. I'm just going down. 18.8, 10.2, 17.4, 10.4. And then, he got a little bit older, but still 13.7, 8.6, 17.4, 9.7. I think it was really good. The years that he was there, he played fantastically. Never less than except for the 2012, 2013 season where he only played 49 games. Never less than 17 points or 8 rebounds.
What was his? Like I said, he was really one of those guys that was great at adjusting to the 3-point era. Brook
Mhm.
Lopez, is another guy I think of that did that. What's his 3-point percentages throughout his career? Do you have any?
Yeah. Well, not his whole career, but just with the Lakers.
Yeah.
His first year, 0, didn't even attempt any.
Right.
His second year, 50%, but it says he attempted it and made none per game. So that's a little
So,
weird.
just
So I have to
maybe
look-
1 of 2 or something.
Yeah, something like that. 0, 33.3%, 25.9, 28.6, 28.6. The most he ever averaged in a game, he made 0.2 and shot 0.6 per game in 2012, 2013, the year that he only played 49 games.
Well, either way, I was always impressed that he was
Yeah.
able to add that to his
Probably
his game.
after he was with the Lakers.
Yeah.
He became more of a 3-point shooter. But no, Pau Gasol jersey retirement, it makes sense.
Also, it is a Staples. We're having multiple reports. Ryan says, in fact, he's at Staples right now.
Wow, Ryan, give me a lanyard.
Yes, so good. Staples still matters. It just doesn't matter enough for crypto overtook it, I suppose. Which happens.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the Staples Center to us. All right, last day today for the franchise tag in the NFL. A lot of interest going to be around Lamar Jackson. There's already been 3 franchise tags placed so far this season. I think a lot of people that play Madden will think every team is always franchise tags a guy. That is not the case. Most teams don't do it every year. Some haven't done it in years, but it's because it's not a great deal ultimately. It allows you to get over your salary cap, but you're paying more per year that year than you would for a long-term contract. Tony Pollard, of course, franchise tagged by the Cowboys, meaning that they pay just a crazy amount for the running back deal.
Just way too much.
The Jags have franchise tagged Evan Ingram. And Washington has franchise tagged Deron Payne, their defensive tackle. That's the only franchise tags we have so far. That ends today. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have been basically negotiating for more than a year, waiting, kind of up until this day to avoid the franchise tag. And now they've got a few different options that kind of can fall in place here too with the franchise tag. They can be, which is kind of different and something that I don't know a lot of people know about, but you can basically have a non-exclusive tag, which is a little bit less expensive than just the overall exclusive tag. The exclusive tag would cost about $45 million, and then the non-exclusive tag would be less. It'd be about $32 million, but it would allow Jackson to speak to other teams and give the Ravens the right to match any offer sheet that they get. And if they didn't want to match, then they'd get 2 first-round picks. If you're the Ravens,
I do that.
You would do that.
I do that. 100%. I do that.
Take the cheaper option, and with the idea that you always get the chance to match.
You get the chance to match.
Yeah.
You take the cheaper option. If somebody's going to throw a crazy amount out there, and you know what's going to happen is you're not going to match it. You're going to get 2 first round picks, and then that team's going to be handicapped by his contract for however many years to come. Not saying that he's not worth it, but in terms of surrounding him with talent, you're going to be severely handicapped if you overpay to get him away from the Ravens, so to speak.
Yeah, it's
also, I would just pay him because he's worth it.
Right. I mean, he is a former MVP of this league. Obviously, last year didn't kind of injury riddled, and that's kind of what the fear. The last couple of years, in fact, haven't been great for him as far as his touchdown interception ratio goes. If you combine them, about 33 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Of course, he does add a significant amount more on the ground than most players in the league. Only combined 5 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 years, though, but over 1,400 yards in those years.
If I'm the Ravens, I'm talking to Lamar and I'm saying, look, we know you're worth this money and we want to give you this money. Maybe we'll backload it or something. But right now, if you want to be successful, which I'm sure he does, and I know the Ravens want to, we need to surround you with more talent. And in order to do that, we need more money. If you want to have more money to have better offensive linemen, better running backs, better receivers, better tight ends, we need to maybe take a little bit out of the first couple years of your contract, backload a little bit, and surround you with all of this supreme talent to get the absolute most out of you. Because right now, he's thrown to Rashad Bateman as his number 1 receiver, which I like Rashad Bateman. I don't know if he's a number 1 receiver on a championship caliber NFL team, though.
Yeah.
You gave away Hollywood Brown because he dropped too many passes. You traded him to the Cardinals. Your running backs are very you have J.K. Dobbins, but he's been healthy for about a season. I just don't really know. You lost Orlando Brown. You traded him to the Chiefs, and they're not even going to they're not going to franchise tag him. They're going to try and work out a long-term deal, so he's going to enter free agency. So you've got to figure out a way to surround Lamar Jackson with his supreme talent with a lot more talented weapons so that you can use him to his full potential. I understand that he's got, the speed and the legs and the ability that a lot of other quarterbacks in the league don't have. But if you're going to use that fully, you need to have some receivers so that the threat of him running the ball isn't the only thing teams are worried about. Because right now, the only thing they're worried about is his legs and their tight end.
Yeah, Mark Andrews is one of the better tight ends in the league.
That's it.
But yeah, they need to add some weapons around him. And as we know, whether Lamar Jackson's a top 5 quarterback, you can argue that's probably not the case. Or top 10 quarterback, okay, now I'd probably get in there and argue in there, but now you might push against that. The point is, he is a top half of the league quarterback, and if you have one of those guys, it's just the way it is in the NFL now. You're going to need a quarterback to be consistently competitive. So you're going to have to pay him out, and we've seen that in the last couple of days. Derek Carr, a bit of a gamble at this point in his career, probably to the Saints. They're loading up 4 years, $150 million. He's their franchise guy. Geno Smith just got a 3-year deal, $105 million. Great story. I'll always remember his 2012 year at West Virginia, where through 5 games, he was definitely the Heisman Trophy
100%.
winner. And then the West Virginia ended up losing a lot of games in a row, and he still played really well. Ended up like 42 touchdowns.
That West Virginia
6
team was the
interceptions or
truth.
something. Yeah, he had weapons left and right.
Him and Tavon Austin.
Oh, yeah.
That was so much fun.
But was the comeback player of the year this past year, 32 years old, all but buried Drew Lock. I don't think we think of Drew Lock as somebody that's going to get a job now.
Sorry, Drew.
But in any case, it's just a cool story because he was, of course, drafted by the Jets. They basically gave it a year and a half, 2 years to kind of see if it would work, gave up on it. And then he only started like 4 games the last 7 years until this past year.
Just bounced around.
But I still wonder, do you think that Geno Smith is worth this 3-year deal? Are you paying him for what he did last year? Or are you paying him for what you project him to do?
Both.
32 somewhat, not too much getting up there in age, but as far as a guy,
$35 million a year.
I always worry about one-hit wonders,
Well, I mean, that's the chance you're taking. I mean, that's still a lot cheaper than what Russell Wilson is costing the Broncos. So I understand the hesitancy to not want to do that with Geno Smith. But if you didn't do that, I'm sure some other quarterback hungry team would take a chance on the comeback player of the year who led an all but fallen franchise to the playoffs. Like this, the Seahawks weren't even supposed to come close to making the playoffs. They were supposed to be in contention for C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
Part of that is the NFC West sucked.
At the number one.
That was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
The 49ers are great.
Yeah,
Obviously.
they were supposed to be in contention for the number one overall pick. They got led to the playoffs by Geno Smith, so you pay him for what he did and possibly for what you could see him doing in the future if you're able to get a little bit more talent for him. Because with the Denver Broncos sucking so much and you having those first-round picks from them, I believe they have 2 picks in the top 15. That's some pretty good weapons you can get for Geno Smith. And if he can play anywhere close to what he did this last season, you're sitting pretty, especially with how weak the NFC West was/might actually be outside of San Francisco, depending on who they have at quarterback. Honestly, I like Brock Purdy, whatever. He's cool. It's a cool story. I don't know if he's going to be able to lead San Francisco for an entire season.
Yeah, San Francisco is pretty much great as long as they have a quarterback. You know, I don't know if Brock Purdy's the next coming of Tom Brady, like people want to say.
Or if they're going to go back to Trey Lance.
Or if they go back to Trey Lance. But in one way or the other, I know they've been one of the best teams in the NFL with Jimmy G, and Jimmy G's not elite. So I think one way or the other, the 49ers,
maybe the Rams will
one
be
of
back.
the few franchises that can just,
whatever.
They've got so much built up around.
Well, it's because your defense is so good, and then you have so many weapons on the offensive end.
Yep.
But if even one of those slips up, then you're going to have to rely on Brock Purdy.
Or if you hit like 3 guys get injured, you don't have a quarterback to throw out there.
Exactly.
That
You
was
just hand it off to Christian McCaffrey.
Very sad playoff game. Aaron Rodgers trade talks with the Jets also reportedly very real this past week, so look for that in NFL trade circles. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some NCAA tournament, and we'll quiz Nick and Rico on some of these teams that have already punched their ticket. 6 tickets punched, 5 more tonight. We'll see if these guys are experts. If they're going to win the bracket pool, we'll do that coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the Bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the Bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
March is a month of good, from epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tag-on, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't be overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Road is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out the location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake. Or find their food truck and events all over town. Or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet. It is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill. We have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra light duty and new Silverado light duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive and affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwbuildingandfence.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolet. Ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune into 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mostly cloudy and cool today with a high of around 42. East-northeast winds of around 10 to 15. We may see a few sprinkles or light rain showers this evening. Lows tonight should drop off to around 34. And nearly a repeat performance tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler for our final segment, regular segment anyway, on a Tuesday as Boys State basketball is ahead here in the next coming days. And Nick Zaner will be on plenty of those calls. It is officially kind of that time of the year, and I guess that was official last week. But Nick, are you geared up and ready for another week of this?
Locked and loaded. We're good to go. Got Class A quarterfinals tomorrow. So Bellevue West and Lincoln. There's a lot of Lincoln teams in it for the state tournament. So take off the helmet, Rico.
No.
Anyway,
it's my helmet. I'm great.
Anyway, so like
maybe the kick returner.
Lincoln North Star plays tomorrow against Bell West. Lincoln Southeast plays against Gretna, and Lincoln East plays against West Side. All coming up tomorrow afternoon and evening. So it's gonna be a good one.
Bellevue West, baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, their smallest margin of so they're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And the smallest margin that a game has been in this year for them, they won one game in overtime, 80-78.
West Side
against West Side. Other than that, they have not had a single-digit game.
So perhaps West Side then.
No, perhaps Bellevue West is going to probably win it.
Let's say West Side are they in the bracket?
Yeah, West Side plays East tomorrow, but I think East gets that job done. And then Bellevue West, like I said though, they have beaten a team, the smallest amount that they've beaten a team by, other than that one time that they beat somebody by 2 in overtime, is 11.
So clear favorites.
They've only had one single-digit game. It's unreal.
Perfect.
And they've played people. Like they've played teams in the state tournament.
Perfect.
Let's move on here to the NCAA tournament, which of course is just ahead. Big Ten tournament gets started tomorrow as well. ACC tournament actually getting started this afternoon. But some of the other tournaments are wrapping up their championship games. So we had 6 tickets punched last night. 5 more tonight. I'm going to just basically see if you guys can get 11 points total. So I'm going to ask you some questions here.
All right, Nick, we can do this.
Okay.
And it's based on the teams that have punched their tickets or playing in championship games tonight. So we're going to see how well you guys are prepared to fill out your brackets here. All right.
Good.
Yeah. Get some music going. Get
Oh,
the
man.
spirit.
This just makes me feel so good.
Next week is going to be a heck of a week. You have March Madness, and then you have St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Are you guys big St. Patrick's Day people?
Not really.
I don't
care.
drink a whole lot, but
Neither do I.
I do like.
By the way, I moved it to the other TV
oh, there it is.
because I sat over there for 3 days. So I wanted to watch something.
All right, let's continue.
All right, we'll start with this. The Southern Conference was won by Furman. Furman's first appearance since 1980. To get a point, you guys either have to know Furman's mascot name, the Furman what, or what state they're from. Furman.
The Furman.
I can picture their logo.
So
It's
can
like,
I.
It's like the Knights. Isn't it a shield?
No.
And you guys are gonna have to 20 seconds because
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Just go with it.
Okay,
you guys want to guess a state at least?
I don't feel
Furman.
good.
What conference?
This is the Southern Conference.
The Southern. Furman is in Georgia.
No. Whoa.
No.
We're not gonna guess that
Not
yet.
final answer.
I know for a fact it's not in Georgia.
Okay.
Furman.
Okay. Quick. Come on. We got to get all these in.
I feel like it's one of the Carolinas. Guess
South Carolina.
South
It's not in North
Carolina.
Carolina.
It is in South Carolina. You guys get a point there as you work through it. The rest of these times, you're not going to get as much time, though.
Yep, makes sense.
The Sun Belt Conference was won by Louisiana. This one maybe perhaps a little
Ragin'
easier.
Cajuns.
Ragin' Cajun. I wasn't going to ask you the state on those. If the states are in the name, you don't get that
Yep,
option.
that makes sense.
Kennesaw State won the Atlantic Sun. The Kennesaw State.
Oh, I know this one.
Is Kennesaw State in North Carolina? Kennesaw.
No, I think it's in Tennessee.
No. Kennesaw. Is it Kennesaw, Georgia? No, it's not.
No, it's Georgia. It's Georgia.
Kennesaw,
It's Georgia.
Georgia.
All right. Are you guys going with that instead of their name?
We're gonna.
I feel like we're wrong now.
We can.
Well, no.
Either way.
Kennesaw State.
Do you know their mascot?
It's not the Flyers.
I was going to say Warriors, but I don't think
It's definitely
it.
not the
That's
Warriors.
Warriors.
Okay. We can do without the music.
Yeah,
We're
just
good.
go with the state name.
Yeah, Georgia.
It is Georgia. So 3
Okay.
points.
See,
You
we're
guys
fine.
are doing pretty good.
We're fine.
All right.
I had a friend who played softball there.
Nice.
You didn't know what state they played
Nebraska
softball in?
men's basketball. Nebraska men's basketball lost to them.
Yeah.
Last year.
Did they? I think they beat them last year.
Was that one of their few wins?
Yeah,
one of their
probably
7
wins. Missouri Valley was won by Dan DeVries, Tucker DeVries as well.
Oh yes.
And Drake
Bulldogs.
Bulldog.
Yeah,
There
Iowa.
you go.
Watch for him.
easy.
Watch for him. If Fran McCaffrey leaves Iowa, watch for DeFries to go to Iowa.
Oh yeah.
He's from that area. That's what his dream job.
And his son will probably go with him.
Yes, his son's
All right,
very
this
good.
one will be a little bit more difficult. You don't get the state here. UNC Asheville won the Big South. The UNC Asheville.
Are they the Rams?
Vikings.
No, it's definitely not the Vikings.
Rams.
I like Rams.
Okay, you go with Rams.
It is Bulldogs, the first one you guys
how
missed.
generic.
Bulldogs always a good name.
How generic.
And then
That's dumb.
another team that already punched their ticket out of the Ohio Valley is Southeast Missouri State. You don't get the
Southeast.
state
They're
here.
like the Red Hawks.
Yeah, no, that's Southeast. That's just. I don't know if that's the state Southeast.
Oh, that's
Missouri
SIU.
State.
That's SIU. Southeast Missouri State.
They're
Just do the-
16 and 17. by the way.
Simu. Do the Red Hawks. It's red and black.
not.
It actually is the Red Hawks.
Oh,
so there you go. Congratulations.
Hey, Rico.
Already 5 points now. Good job there. Let's go on to tonight, the Colonial matchup. The team, the winner of this game, will also get into the NCAA tournament. UNC Wilmington at 24-9 against Charleston at 30-3. You guys can do either, either nickname here, or where Charleston.
Charleston's
is from.
in North Carolina, right? Charleston, North Carolina.
Well,
No, Charleston, South Carolina. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I also know Charleston's mascot name is the Cougars.
Oh, there you go. They're
Okay.
from South Carolina,
you
and they
would've got
are
that,
the
okay.
Cougars. So there you guys go. Already 6 points. You're doing very well.
And we know things.
The Horizon League championship comes down to Northern Kentucky and Cleveland State.
Northern Kentucky is the Vikings. NKU. I'm like
I do not.
I'm
know.
like 80% sure.
I'm trying to think of when.
Who's the other one?
Cleveland State.
Cleveland State. That's where Dennis Gates.
Oh, they
came
might be.
from. No,
You know,
Dennis Gates
why
came
do I
from
keep thinking Vikings for everybody? They have a helmet for theirs. I know that. Theirs is like a green helmet with horns.
You go whatever you need.
One of them is a Viking.
One of them is a Viking.
Yes!
Cleveland State
Yes!
is the Vikings.
Nice job, Rico.
And Northern Kentucky is the North. So
The North. That's Viking.
They've got their own
That's a
Viking thing
Viking.
going on.
And Más o menos.
In the Northeast championship game, it will be the Fairleigh Dickinson something or others against the Merrimack of something others.
Oh gosh.
They are in the Northeast, so maybe you can guess a state here for one or the other.
One of those is Cougars.
Are you sure?
One of them is.
Is that your final answer?
Okay, so
Fairleigh Dickinson.
is that in New York?
No. That doesn't seem like a New York.
Okay.
That seems like a Massachusetts.
Whatever you want to do. Whether you
I
wanna
don't
go-
know.
Whether
This
you want,
one's a tough one.
whether you want to go to with Cougars or if you wanna
One
go-
of them is a Cougar.
Neither of them are
Dang
Cougars. Merrimack is in Massachusetts.
Ah!
The Merrimack Warriors and the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights.
The Knights.
That's
the Knights
so
and Warriors.
just generic.
All right, the Summit
Why don't we just get
Championship game
Tigers out here.
Yeah.
comes down to North Dakota State, 16 and 16.
Bison.
Yeah, that one's almost. We're not going to give you that one against Oral Roberts.
Oh,
Just
the
give us
Eagles.
Oral Roberts.
The Eagles.
Wait.
No, it's a bird.
There's something else.
It's a bird.
It's something else.
It's a bird. It's a tan bird.
Yep.
I just saw their logo when I was diving deep in the net.
Ospreys.
No.
Seabirds.
Is it the Screaming Eagles?
No, it's not. That's dumb. It's not that.
I need.
It's a bird, but it's not like a generic bird.
Do you guys know what state Oral Roberts is in?
Oh, it's Ohio. That's in Ohio. Oral Roberts in Ohio, isn't it?
I couldn't tell
Do
you.
you guys want any final answers here?
Just everything we just said.
I thought when they beat Ohio State in the NCAA tournament, it was like, oh, they beat the
It was.
state
No, you're right.
rival.
You're right. It's Ohio.
It is Oklahoma. Oral Roberts is in Oklahoma. They
Oh,
are the
I firmly
Golden
know.
Eagles.
Golden Eagles.
I knew it was something.
That was pretty
Eagles.
good. This one, you guys are only going to get.
That's tough.
Well, maybe something here.
That's tough.
You're not going to get points for the West Coast Championship. Maybe one here. Gonzaga Bulldogs, of course, against the St. Mary's Gales. And what state is St. Mary's from?
Washington.
California.
Oh, I thought it was.
You get the Gales. That's fine.
Yeah, we
8
got the
points
Gales.
total. That's pretty good.
8 out of
guys.
11.
Yeah.
Merrimack's tough.
Yeah.
Merrimack
I said
is that one.
Massachusetts. I should have stuck with Massachusetts.
Fairleigh Dickinson is tough.
You
I
guys,
was like, it seemed like a Massachusetts thing.
you guys are rather prepared, I think, for the NCAA tournament.
No,
with,
I know
with
nothing
that
about any
knowledge.
of those teams except for that stuff.
That's a start. That's more than I think a lot of people knew.
Gonna-
Hopefully, people were paying along on the.
Yeah,
that
base
call.
my bracket off of mascots.
That's how you
What
win.
mascot-
That's how you win the bracket.
Yeah, what mascot would win in a fight?
Guys, should we fill out? Oh, we can't do it tomorrow. Should we fill out a Big Ten basketball
Oh,
tournament
we should.
bracket?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be mad.
Print it out right now.
Okay, well, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. Plenty more bracketology and just basketball brackets coming up in the next couple days.
Nick
couple
is going to
of
be
weeks.
upset with some numbers.
Nick
Oh,
has
I'm
been
pissed.
diving into some numbers.
I'm pretty pissed, and I don't have any base to my argument because I don't know how to defend it because it's like Nebraska's just where they're at. So I'm mad. I'm pretty mad.
More rankings and all that stuff coming up next here on the Happy Hour.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
ANTK FM Firth.